Alright, TD Jake is finally speaking. Wendy Williams, we have some terrible news for you. You know, TD Jakes is speaking. He is expressing appreciation and ending a period of quiet. Dexter Jakes, the senior pastor of the Potter's House in Dallas, thanked everyone on Thursday for their support during his recent health crisis. The priest conveyed how near he was to Farwer's demise in a video clip that was linked to his declaration, saying that he wasn't scared to die. He claimed he didn't have to finish this well. Thank you very much. I want to express my gratitude to everyone who sent love and cards, sent prayers, texted, participated in prayer vigils, and showed concern. I'm just appreciative. Thank you. I have no fear of dying. I don't want to harm my loved ones or my children. God sent me, the world summoned me, and my church needs me. Alright, so the world summoned me, my church needs me, and God sent me. I've got to be thankful at times like this, he said. TD Jakes said in a statement that while he wasn't lucky to have avoided a stroke, the event might have been devastating. I praise the Lord that I did not suffer a stroke, but if God hadn't stepped in, the incident may have been deadly. It is a great honor to serve God's people, and Sunday was no different. Even on Sunday, when I felt the weight of my humanity and persevered, I apologize, but I am unable to read the remainder of this. I find this to be very dramatic. I think this is very dramatic, people. Since my ring light is playing out, I'll just shift this so we're more focused on God's light. You know, since that's really what we're talking about today. Alright, his comment strikes me as being too theatrical. Basically, we need to know if you're doing well and that you're well physically. I feel like I need to keep going since God and everyone needs me. I find it dramatic that he keeps tricking his large audiences. Furthermore, I'm not speaking just to TD Jakes or Christianity since, in my view, there are many activities involving the Abrahamic faiths, and I believe that a Muslim imam in America was recently exposed for the excruciating anguish of failure. He said things like, I need to get to you through God like God is helping me to get to you, so you have to do X, Y's. To me, people like them are just more fervent about the language they employ than they are about God. Because even if you are unable to read properly, you can still be close to God or desire to be, and I feel that TDJ is being overly dramatic when he says that he has confirmed that his stroke was not fatal, that he is doing well, that God sent me, that you sent me, that everyone went, and that I persevered. Nevertheless, if you are okay, please let us know. We just want to know that because you have children and I want you to be okay, but I think things like this are needlessly dramatic. I'm grateful for my continued life today. Or you could just tell everyone you want to tell how great I am and call it a day. There doesn't have to be this many lines. And it's deliberate when I see things like this. The phrase is deliberate. In addition, TDJ has been the subject of a lot of discussion in recent days. In addition to his almost fainting incident, he has been in the headlines a lot, presumably because to his connections to Diddy. Yes, he did. Some claim that this was done on purpose as well. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it. It is, in my opinion, a pretty daring charge or accusation to make. I'm not saying it personally, but I do believe it's very coincidental that he purposefully fainted in this manner, knowing that others would catch him since he didn't fall, and then use that as justification in a lawsuit against someone who made astonishing claims. Let's just say that it's incredibly handy. Therefore, I wouldn't be shocked if it happened in this day and age, particularly given TD Jakes and his affiliations. You've been accused of grooming someone when they were 18 and 19, and you've been seen with Diddy at his parties. There are also accusations against Diddy. It's like, you're flying too close to the sun, and you've basically been accused of XYZ. What's happening is that you're constantly with someone who does something, but all of a sudden you're not the one who does anything. Additionally, keep in mind that in one of the cases, DJs were assigned to help repair Diddy's reputation. Why would you assist someone who is so unholy? Money was undoubtedly in place at the time. If you're leading the congregation like, I just don't understand. His name was in court records, therefore I believe that people forget things like this. If your name was in court documents from someone bringing a case, I'm looking at you sourly, period. People who aren't even included in these cases, like Jennifer Lopez or Beyonce, for instance, have a lot more vitality. J-Lo I know, with their lawsuits, but I feel like the males aren't being looked at, and for some reason I don't know, they want to make the women appear less important. I just think it's strange, and I really wanted to include it in the film because his comment and its content are so dramatic. What do you guys think? I just don't see why people are accusing him of fabricating his weak fainting. I don't know that to be true, therefore I won't say so. Now leave a remark below. A report by Guardian's attorneys claims that Wendy Williams has developed cognitive impairment and is now permanently handicapped. In 2023, a 60-year-old former talk show presenter in the United States was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and primary progressive aphasia, which is the same kind of dementia that actor Bruce Willis has. In relation to the publication of the documentary, Where is Wendy?, her guardian, Sabrina Morisi, has now filed a lawsuit against Lifetime and other entities on the AE television network. The guardians of Wendy Williams attempted to stop the series from broadcasting. Her guardian said in the lawsuit filed last month that the docu-series producers exploited a very weak lady. It asserts that earnings were being diverted to other sources and that Wendy Williams was very fragile and obviously unable. She is now permanently disabled due to dementia, which is really tragic. As you may know, that was in reference to the documentary that was being made. The fact that she has had such severe mental health problems is very heartbreaking. It really saddens me since it seems like everyone watched Wendy Williams. Even if you didn't watch her cable program, you could still see YouTube videos of her talking about individuals and sometimes her breaking her silence. She went right into it and was sloppy, which made her a great interviewer. Even while I would agree that it was somewhat insulting, it was ultimately amusing. It is disheartening to see that she will never fully recover from her dementia, leaving her forever disabled. There definitely is no return of Wendy Williams. She's not coming back in any way, shape, or form, because there was a discussion of her obviously coming to radio again and doing something like this or something on her own YouTube channel. A lot of this was a conversation she was recently seen, I believe. 5 months ago, something I saw a picture of her and she looked great, so to hear this update is very bad news. It's very unsettling, and I just wonder the people around her what they're doing to her now, because obviously just going to be taking her money, and hopefully her son just protects her. Because that's what your children do in these moments, they protect you, and hopefully her son does that. Because I know it's very messy for the people around her, and it's just such a shame. A lot of people think this is her karma. I don't believe it's her karma, to be honest with you. I believe she's just dealing with health issues, because there are a lot of messy people, let alone war criminals, who are walking gleefully today on our streets killing multiple people. To be honest with you, I don't believe it's karma. I think the term is often overused. Sincerely, I don't believe it is. Please let me know what you people think about this. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I would be grateful. Subscribing just requires one click. You guys just need to do that. Simply press the button. Additionally, please click the alerts bell. Guys, I would really appreciate it. It makes a big difference, and I hope to see you all again soon for another video. Youngblood was also accused of sexually touching 2 teenagers while providing counseling. Youngblood was on parole and under the supervision of Pennsylvania's Department of Parole. Additionally, Youngblood has consistently entered guilty pleas to his transgressions. In order to correct the record and show the world that the claims are patently false, this action aims to stop that scam, stop the severe emotional, physical, and spiritual toll it has taken on Bishop T. Jakes, and repair his reputation. Naturally, T.D. Jakes states in this lawsuit, which I spoke about a few days ago, a week ago, that the stress that Youngblood was giving him at the time was the cause of his sickness, breakdown, fainting, or whatever else he experienced. Therefore, the fact that it was utilized in the case is so beneficial to me that it's really providing me the opportunity to try to milk this type of sympathy edit. The tension caused that moment, which is why he is healing. To be honest with you, I realize it's very callous to say, but it's really strange that it was utilized the next day. However, Youngblood is essentially recounting the events of that evening with D.D. Jakes in great detail. I eventually glanced at my watch after sitting there and talking to him for a while, and I thought, oh my goodness, I got to go. My mother is going to murder me, therefore I have to return this automobile to her. Youngblood reported that I told D.D. Jakes I got to get up, and he got up from the table as well. We then moved around to the exit, where I had to go sooner than I had arrived. He attempted to kiss me, put his arms around me, and drew me into himself as I began to go past him, and I really passed away at that same time. According to Youngblood, Jakes phoned him home the morning after the encounter and hinted that he wanted to start having sex with locals. Duane, it's Elder Jakes, my mother says as she answers the phone. I got on the phone with Jakes. I can also hear water while I'm on that phone. He's seated in a tub. And he speaks to me without hesitation in that statement. I need you to accomplish 3 things. The first is to come to Pittsburgh. I will take care of you for the rest of your life, and you will be the only one I sleep with. Secondly, you cannot sleep with anybody else since I don't want to offer my wife anything. Youngblood, whose prior abuse of youngsters was reported in his interview with Reed days after he made his accusations public, was now listed as an offender. According to Jake's lawyer, Youngblood's lawyer issued Jake a demand letter on November 24th, requesting $6 million to settle these issues. According to Jake's attorneys, who pointed out that the interview went viral, Youngblood's accusations damaged the megachurch pastor's physique and reputation to the tune of millions of dollars. Youngblood's deception has seriously damaged and endangered him. Bishop Jakes has suffered significant mental and bodily harm as a result of Youngblood's deliberate and malevolent falsehoods. Bishop Jakes had a medical emergency on stage during his Sunday sermon in front of his whole congregation the day before he filed this lawsuit. I apologize to everyone, but I have to go through it again. He felt sick the day before he filed. It's just too convenient, and he then used his illness as an excuse for the lawsuit. Despite his assertions that Youngblood is not a victim, Bishop Jakes firmly feels that real victims, not him, deserve more sympathy, according to the court document. Youngblood has re-victimized the people he preyed on by abusing the power of social media and the court system. Tyron A. Blackburn, Jake's lawyer who covered Lord Rodney's litigation with Diddy, has responded to Jake's complaint. Youngblood's reaction to TD Jakes' complaint is as follows. To paraphrase a passage from Matthew, be wary of false prophets who seem to you as harmless but are really hungry wolves. You'll be able to identify them by their fruits. Are figs harvested from thistles or grapes harvested from thorn bushes? The time has finally come for TD Jakes' chickens to roost. Keep an eye out. I'll read that final passage to you once again. The time has finally come for TD Jakes' chickens to roost. Keep an eye out. Therefore, this tale seems quite plausible to me based on Youngblood's description. Naturally, we are unaware of it. However, I think it's strange that that case included TD Jakes' medical treatment. This is the third time I've done it. I just find it too handy. He has revealed the truth about what transpired that evening, including the fact that TD Jakes approached him again and said, I want you to be my partner. I want you to do XYZ for me. After he had pulled him in without his consent, hugged him, and engaged in other intimate activities that he found extremely uncomfortable. There are now two possible outcomes. It's possible that Youngblood is speaking the truth or that this lawsuit is accurate. Youngblood has strong convictions against him for his actions, which may be justified given that he was supposedly assailed by TD Jakes or by someone else when he was younger. As a result, he carried on that cycle and harmed other people. It is a really terrifying narrative that has been made public because he spoke it eloquently, illustrated it clearly, and provided us with an example. Youngblood's attorneys have, of course, also addressed this. When discussing the TDJ issues, we must keep in mind that there is a lawsuit that is still outstanding. We will now examine Tyrone's actions in reverse to determine the outcome of this litigation. Will there be a trial? Because Youngblood probably wants money. For those of you who are asking, well, Youngblood, why didn't he sue him before? Why are you bringing such a high-value lawsuit against him now? Extortion is what it is. Certain individuals do experience but they choose to put it entirely in the back of their mind and avoid talking about it for a very long time. After a period, events occur, something sets people off, and they feel entitled to the monetary recompense and desire to strive to get justice. It has been observed that several individuals have even sued Diddy. Additionally, this is not the only individual to make remarks against Diddy Jakes. It seems like someone else was saying something, in my opinion. Tell me if I'm mistaken. I would now want to read this remark under this specific post. And I think what he stated in this remark is very fascinating. I listened to Youngblood and L.A. Reid's interview in its entirety, and it seemed genuine. After serving several years in jail and confessing his mistake, he is now an advocate for victims of sexual assault. It's interesting that others with excellent reputations have come forward to say that they had comparable experiences with TD Jakes. The shame and guilt attached to previous abuse may prevent people from coming out about it. Jakes has been the subject of a lot of rumors, and maybe the truth will surface soon. We must reveal these wolves in sheep's clothes. There are many fake instructors in Texas who are being exposed and made responsible for their wrongdoings. If that didn't really happen, why would anybody accuse Jakes? It's an excellent question. $6 million is a lot of money, of course. That money belongs to TD Jakes. Therefore, the reason I'm leaning more toward Youngblood's side of this debate isn't because I believe he's an angel, rather, it's because TD Jakes had a health concern and then took advantage of it. As you may know, Youngblood was on its way to TD Jakes the day before he received this medical attention. It caused him tension, but it was a handy way to do it when he was performing in front of a large audience. Why couldn't he have passed out quietly or in some other way? Naturally, you then recorded a video of yourself in a wheelchair after you were discharged from the hospital, and then you used Zoom to preach to everyone since you were so sick and God needed you to return and do something. It was very dramatic. I find it to be quite performative. My attorneys are keeping a close eye on me. Since I want to use this as leverage on Youngblood in this defamation case to silence him and put an end to this, I need to play this and rinse it. I'm getting that from it. And the fact that he has now come forward with this truthful account of what Dexter Jakes was allegedly doing, followed by a response from his lawyer, indicates that things are going to get nasty between these two. All that is left is for this to go viral, which I think it has, and then other people may come forward in the coming weeks regarding what is happening in the congregation. In my opinion, things are going to get really messy with Dexter Jakes. I feel like a wave is coming in some form, and after a year or two of these conversations, everything will blow up. It seems like we've been talking about Dexter Jakes for the last 7 or 8 months. Diddy has been involved, which is a major warning anyhow, and now this. I'm not claiming that Youngblood is innocent or that he has had an innocent life. He has committed some abhorrent acts, served time in jail, and is undoubtedly making an effort to change his ways, but those actions should never be forgotten. However, it doesn't imply he didn't experience repulsive things, maybe when he was younger, from someone who is still most likely regarded in the community. This is a very fascinating discussion. I'm not aware that Dexter Jakes, reportedly did this, but I'm sorry, I didn't realize that Youngblood's lawyer replied. I think he did so yesterday or the day before, and he said, "Stay tuned," essentially stating that he is a phony and imposter. What does it signify? Why did Yampa's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, advise staying tuned? What are you saying? Are you bringing a case to serve as a counter-argument, or are you planning to represent more claimed victims? Guys, this is becoming really ugly. I don't know. Even though Cal Williams has opened that gateway, I don't imagine it will close at the end of this year, men. Even if I know 2024 has been a busy year. To be honest with you, I believe it will continue until next year. I find this narrative to be crazy, therefore we all need to brace up. Please do share your ideas with me. People, did anybody contact Celestial to help explain yesterday's TDJX chaos because he passed out on stage like that? It's rather perplexing. However, the fact that his kids are coming out and speaking to me is even more perplexing since they blink a lot and pause when they speak. It's simply a produced PR film, and I don't get it. Hi everyone, I'm Murad Murali, and I provide regular and everyday stuff. Now, let's go right into the video. I'm not criticizing anything that Dexter Jakes has experienced in the last 24 to 48 hours, however. He has, of course, had a health scare. It seems that this individual may have had a stroke, a seizure, or an attack before to the stroke. It may have been brought on by dread, worry, and panic due to connections with Diddy, as well as the possibility that certain things maybe he had a difficult year coming out because of the P. Diddy stuff, especially in December, January, and February around that time. But there could have been a lot of other things that happened that had nothing to do with Diddy. Nevertheless, based on what we're seeing now, his kids have released a statement, and people in the comments are saying the same thing as what I'm thinking. Hello family, hey. I know that today has been a busy day for us, but we wanted to give you all an update on how things are doing with Bishop before we lie down. We want to start by saying thank you for your prayers, support, and concern. It has really been a boon. Yes, their prayers were felt by us. Clearly, today had the potential to be a horrible day, but it wasn't. Bishop is doing well, thanks to God's compassion and kindness. He's getting better. He is receiving medical attention. He's powerful. We are attempting to get him to sit. He is the strong bishop we know, but we truly appreciate your prayers, intercession, and kind words. Despite the fact that it appears to be very PR staged, they blink constantly and appear a little anxious. They wanted to make sure that everyone who supports him knows that he is doing well, stable, and fine. Additionally, some people believe that they are filling up the potholes to make the road seem clean, but in reality, there are many of them, and Dexter Jakes has been dealing with health problems for a long time, and things are just getting worse. Everyone is keeping an eye on the issue, and Dexter Jakes is once again the center of attention. Who would have guessed? We believed that we had dealt with him, and we had discussed him a few months before. The main emphasis was on his arrest, the raids on his homes, and his kids' foolish behavior, but due to this health crisis, the attention has now returned to Dexter Jakes. Is there a correlation? If it is, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't believe that this is all true, rather. I believe that it's a coincidence that Diddy's downfall and Dexter Jakes are occurring. I believe that there are a lot more people in these industries who haven't been tapped into or essentially discovered, and his children just seem a little bit weird in this video, a little bit jaded. Why are they blinking so much? Why are they riding like, I don't know, it just seems odd, like they're hiding something's going on behind that Potter's house, that establishment. Additionally, some celebrities appear to be running away or, executives, resigning. There seems to be a minor shakeup. I find it fascinating that despite their religious prominence, they are quite affluent thanks to their congregations and the money they essentially make from them. All of it is really a different whole discussion. People are most likely already having that if that is what they desire. However, his kids seem strange here. Behind the scenes, I believe something is being concealed. I believe that his health issues have been there for a long time, and that everything culminated on that stage. However, I don't believe he's doing well at the moment. This is something to fill in the gaps in this discussion, in my opinion. However, those potholes are real. Now, please explain the reason for my PDDD dream from last night. Bring a lot of reporting on him. He was having a house party and was worried that people wouldn't show up, so I went to his house to buy a wardrobe. I gave him $200, but the wardrobe broke, so I asked for my money back. He refused, saying he needed the money because he's broke, and he left. I was crying, and I'm not sure what the dream is about. Even in our dreams, men, we could be able to sue for financial abuse since this man stole my money while I was asleep. P. Diddy is such a trash man and fraudster that this is what he would be doing. In your sleep, he would be stealing your money. No, I just believe that they are real, strange, illogical dreams. I don't think there's anything really profound about it, but when you're reporting for duty for a long time, some of the things obviously get repeated in your head in various ways, and you end up having illogical dreams. I wanted to share this with you guys because the dreams are so clear and vague and foolish that I just wanted to say it briefly. As I film this video, letters are being mailed out in preparation for today's bail updating hearing. We're going to see what happens once they write it up and provide it to the judges. Many publications now claim that he has been refused bail, but if you read them closely, you will see that they are blatantly bad pieces of journalism. Journalism at its worst. The case is still ongoing since this individual has not been refused bail. His bail has not been refused only because a court ruled that he cannot remain on Star Island in Miami. You are aware that they have a motion pending on the Upper East Side to see if it can be approved for Diddy, and that option has been rejected. His attorneys are receiving financial support. That much is certain. His attorneys have one thing in common: they have the ideal client, someone who is narcissistic and has a big ego. Therefore, Diddy is certain that he is innocent, which is why he will petition for bail 3 times, and his attorneys will not object each time he requests that they do all of this. Yeah, you're right, they will remark, enjoying his egotistical basic principles. You're not guilty. We will fight on your behalf. Come on, let's do the bail work. Come on, let's do the bail work. Come on, let's do the bail work. Keep your money full. Many of those attorneys have joined the team because they are on the verge of becoming multimillionaires. No longer is it simply Mark. In addition to Alex Spiro, you also have Rico among them. Many attorneys are receiving large sums of money in bankrolls. It is genuinely, absolutely crazy. Speaking of money, a real estate investor who previously said that his home was worth $30 million is now stating that it will essentially be sold for much less if it is not purchased for that amount. However, regardless of your identity, property will always increase in value. However, Diddy just needs a little more time, perhaps not during his lifetime, but most likely throughout the lives of his offspring. The value of the property will undoubtedly rise. I don't believe Diddy's family should sell that mansion to someone who claims that the Diddy incident has reduced its value. One day, this controversy will end. That home should be sold when his kids are Diddy's age in order to generate a healthy profit. The main issue is that Diddy will continue to make money from his song rights and real estate holdings, which will benefit his kids in any case. If he ever leaves prison, he will never be homeless or poor, and his kids won't be impoverished either thanks to his yearly income from music and his portfolio. If he sells his jets and other assets, it won't be the same lifetime income that they have essentially been living with. Guys, please share your opinions on this video with me. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Thank you, and I hope to see you all again soon for another video.